we're going to go straight into questions. I know we have a lot of them here. We're going to start with Edgar Thompson, the Orlando Sentinel. Go ahead with your question, Edgar.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel. Thanks for doing this. So what's it mean to you seeing how NASCAR has provided increased opportunities for minority and women since you kind of came up the ranks?
¿Cómo estás? Well, I think obviously it's been a process. I don't think NASCAR has been doing that just since I came into the ranks. I think NASCAR has been doing that since way before myself. It's just everything about having the right people around you and the right opportunity and the right timing. I feel like I've been extremely fortunate to have very fortunate opportunities in my career. Really with a lot of support from NASCAR, from sponsors, from race teams, and from all the people down in Mexico that they've been supporting me since day one. So it's a combination of things, but definitely, NASCAR and the NASCAR Latino group, they have worked extremely hard to make this a place for everyone. The diversity program and many other programs that NASCAR have, and they've been working on for many years to try to make this sport welcome for not just for Americans, but for many drivers around the world, and not just Latin America. Everywhere in Europe and everywhere in South America that they want the opportunity to come to this country and have a career.
How do you think Bubba and Michael Jordan getting together is going to help boost this effort? I mean, it's going to bring a lot of attention.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that is going to help me yet, but I wish them the best.
Our next question is going to come from Mark Garrow. Go ahead with the question, Mark.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Daniel. Yesterday, listening to Pitbull and Justin, a lot of buzz around your new team off the track. How long do you think it'll be before you guys as a new team can kind of get up to speed and kind of match that on the track?
Yeah, it's a combination. Edgar just asked me about this combination of handling Jordan and Wallace. Now you look in the other side, and it's myself, Justin, and Pitbull. Like, it's a process. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen like that. But we are very fortunate. Both organizations, actually, we're very fortunate that we have very, very good manufacturer support, and also very, very good partnership with big organizations that are going to help make this process very smooth. I do believe that the sport is changing. I do believe that having people like Michael Jordan and like people involved in the sport is a plus for everyone, just bringing more attention, but especially for the race teams and the entire sport. So, I'm just very excited where this sport is heading. I'm very fortunate to be a small part of this. And, I was talking to Justin actually a few weeks ago that 5 months ago, 6 months ago, all this was, just plans and where we wanted to go, and to look back and to see where we are today is pretty incredible. We haven't even raced yet, and to see all the ground that we have made in the off season is pretty incredible. So I'm extremely happy in the position that we are, and I can't wait to go to the racetrack.
When it comes to Pitbull, Daniel, I was looking up the other day his Twitter, and it's 22.2 million or north of that. What kind of impact do you think that will have, just those like a Michael Jordan, a Pitbull with, a NASCAR driver has a lot, but nothing like that as far as followers on Twitter and social media? What kind of impact do you think that will have on the sport?
Yeah, I'm not even close. The reality is that if you ask anyone that is involved in racing about who is Daniel Suarez, most likely they will know, right? But if you ask someone in the street, who knows? It may be 50-50, it may be 30-70, who knows? The thing here is that Michael Jordan, Pitbull, they're well known worldwide, and they have a fan base extremely wide, into sports, into lifestyle, into different countries, and that's something amazing, because that will make the sport in a way put more eyes, but not just in the United States, but international. So that for me, that's a huge plus. I think that will help a lot. Actually, it's funny. When I was with people back in December in Miami, talking with him, he mentioned to me that his biggest fan base was actually in Asia. That never even crossed my mind about Pitbull's biggest fan base being in Asia. Like, I was thinking probably Mexico, probably Brazil, probably Colombia, Cuba, somewhere, Latino market kind of like thing. But Asia, like, that never even crossed my mind. So it's pretty incredible the amount of eyes that are gonna be looking to the sport because these two individuals, this 2021.
Daniel, good luck, man. I know you had a rough year last year. Good luck in 2021.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Dustin Albino. Go ahead with the question, Dustin.
Yeah, Daniel, kind of off Mark's first question, with how last year went with Gaunt Brothers, could you imagine 5-6 months ago being in the position you are now in the scenario with all the hype around your team?
Listen, man, what happened last year, for me, it was very difficult. It was very difficult. I feel like I really learned a lot about myself and mentally, and to be 100% up and honest with everyone. Today, I feel much stronger person and driver than the beginning of 2019. For example, I had actually a good team behind me. Why? Circumstances, experiences, experiences of what do you need actually to be competitive, people-wise, the support of the organization. So there's a lot of things that go into that. And I felt that, yeah, last year was by far the worst year I have had in my career, but it really taught me a lot as a person. I don't feel like I learned anything on the racetrack, to be honest, but as a person, as a driver, it really taught me a lot. And they say that what doesn't kill you make you stronger, right? I think many of you are going to see the best version of myself for this 2021.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, man.
Nuestra siguiente pregunta es de Ivan Martinez. Adelante, Ivan.
Estás en mute, güey.
Ivan, you're on mute.
Estás en mute, güey.
Sí. Nuestra siguiente pregunta es de Eduardo Olmos.
Thank you very much. Bueno, Iván, estás en mute. Daniel, Daniel, gusto saludarte de Travis Mack, acá en la Ciudad de México, gusto verte. Y bueno, lo que se ha platicado ayer, hoy con el mensaje de Pitbull y la inclusión social es fantástico, pero no hay que olvidarnos del momento del automovilismo mexicano. Por Sergio con Red Bull en Fórmula 1, con Pato Howard en IndyCar y la gente en Endurance, y la expectativa y todo el programa que tú y Trackhouse han armado en los últimos meses, ¿cómo te hace sentir eso? ¿Con esa presión de la buena, la motivación para entregar resultados sobre la marcha y, o sea, soñar con el playoff? ¿Cómo te sientes al respecto en esa motivación de que se pueden entregar resultados buenos de tu parte este año?
Estoy muy contento, Eduardo. He trabajado muy duro para poder estar en esta posición. Hay muchísimas cosas que la mayoría de la gente normal o hasta de ustedes tal vez no entienden al 100% y no los culpo, simplemente es que no están aquí, no están adentro del equipo, no están en mi posición. pero no ha sido fácil. Los últimos años no han sido nada fáciles. Tú me conoces, yo no soy una persona demasiado competitiva y para que me tumben es muy difícil. Estoy muy contento de estar en esta posición, muy agradecido con Dios, obviamente, con mi familia, con toda la gente que me ha apoyado de México y aquí en Estados Unidos. Esta es una gran oportunidad y sinceramente probablemente una de las oportunidades más fuertes que he tenido en la máxima categoría de NASCAR. Y estoy muy contento por eso. Creo que para México va a ser un año muy, muy exitoso en NASCAR, en Fórmula 1 y en IndyCar, como lo acabas de mencionar, que son las categorías principales del mundo. Tenemos pilotos fuertes en cada una de esas categorías, buenos equipos, y no sé qué más podríamos pedir. Sinceramente, yo creo que el sueño completo sería que NASCAR y que IndyCar pudieran ir a México en un corto, mediano plazo, que eso sería fantástico, al igual que la Fórmula 1 ya lo hace. Pero bueno, vamos a ver cómo las cosas pintan. Sinceramente, eso sí lo veo como un sueño, pero un sueño real. Ha habido muchas pláticas y ojalá que se puedan hacer realidad. Yo siempre he mencionado a NASCAR, les he hecho muchos comentarios que para mi forma de ver, México y Canadá son dos mercados muy grandes que están muy cercas como para no aprovecharlos y ojalá que en un corto o mediano plazo se pueda hacer realidad.
Así es. Y una pregunta más. Estás de regreso en la Daytona 500 después de lo del año pasado. ¿Te ves sabiendo la complejidad de la carrera, te ves con la posibilidad de ganar, pelear por la victoria?
Todo, sinceramente, cualquier carro competitivo puede ganar la Daytona 500. Obviamente ya no soy nuevo, ya sé qué es lo que necesito como piloto, como carro. Sé que voy a tener un carro muy rápido. Sé que el Chevy número 99 va a ser rápido y lo vamos a demostrar en las prácticas y en la calificación. Ahora va a ser cuestión de hacer una carrera muy inteligente. La carrera 500 es una carrera totalmente diferente a todas las demás. Probablemente en todas las carreras del año estamos pensando en stage point, estamos pensando en el campeonato, estamos pensando en la carrera. Daytona 500, sinceramente, tienes que pensar en la carrera. Todo lo demás es de estrategia para poder estar ahí al final. Entonces, creo que con esa mentalidad vamos a tener una posibilidad muy alta de poder ser competitivos, estar adelante, hacer una carrera inteligente y ojalá Dios quiera al último podamos salir victoriosos.
Perfecto. Lo mejor para ti en este año.
Gracias,
Gracias.
Eduardo.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Zach Sterniolo. Go ahead with your question, Zach.
Daniel, the sport is positioned right now to really enter a new era here, obviously with Pitbull's ownership in your team as well as Michael Jordan's with Denny Hamlin. Everything is moving forward here, but one of the holes on the racetrack this year is going to be the lack of Jimmy Johnson for the first time in a long time. His lack of presence, is that going to have any impact, do you think, on the leadership of the sport from a driver's standpoint?
You know, I like Jimmy a lot. I feel very, very fortunate to have had the opportunity to race against him for a few years. What an amazing friend, what an amazing driver, and what an amazing career he has had. You know, I'm going to be very fortunate, hopefully, in 5-10 years, winning races, having a championship or two under my belt, and telling my kids, you know what, I raced with that guy. And I didn't just race, but I beat him sometimes, and you know I learned a lot from that guy. So I have nothing but respect for Jimmy. At the same time, with that being said, we have a lot of good leadership in the sport. One driver doesn't make the sport. Doesn't matter who it is. You know, we have a lot of drivers with a lot of experience that they've been in the sport for a long time, and they have a very loud voice as well. So, you know, with that being said, and with all the respect I have for Jimmy, I don't think that the sport is going to lack leadership. I think Jimmy was definitely one of them, but we still have a lot of loud voices with a lot of experience that they are going to keep moving the sport in the right direction.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Jacob Seelman. Go ahead with the question, Jacob.
Thanks, Matt and Daniel. Thank you for taking some time today. Obviously, the last couple of years, you've been pretty bounced around when it comes to, team to team and manufacturer to manufacturer. Do you feel like you've finally been able to find a home with your new situation with Trackhouse? And Justin, you and I talked last year, and you said you really wanted, some stability. Do you feel like you have a home with this team?
I really do. I really do. And the reason of that is because we're growing this together. And for me, it's extremely important. Number one, competition. Number two, the vision of the team, where we want to go in, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And number three, everything that is involved with the racing outside, either sponsors of different programs, different organizations to try to help communities. And these 3 boxes that for me are extremely important, Trackhouse checked them extremely well. And I couldn't ask for anything better. I've been part of big teams. I've been part of small teams, and I have learned many things. People is extremely important. And having the right people behind you is key. If you don't have that, doesn't matter what kind of organization you are, you won't be able to be successful. You name it, the organization. So it's extremely important to have people that believe in you and people that is looking for your success to be able to be winning races and eventually winning championships. So just very happy and very fortunate and very blessed to be in this position. And I can tell you that I'm as excited as it can be to start this 2021.
Would you call, as a follow-up to that, would you call this perhaps the best opportunity you've ever had in NASCAR?
Yes, definitely. It's a combination of the people that is behind me. It's a combination of believing in myself. It's a combination of experience on myself. But yes.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Luis Ramirez. Go ahead with your question, Luis.
Gracias. Es en Spanish. Daniel, buenas tardes. Rápidamente, lo primero sería saber qué es lo que más te impresionó de tu nuevo equipo. Obviamente las condiciones son muy diferentes al equipo que tuviste el año pasado. ¿Qué es lo que más te impresionó y cuál crees que puede ser el factor clave para ellos para poner a tu mejor coche? Y lo segundo, ¿qué aprendió Daniel de 2019-2018 que puede servirle para poder conseguir los playoffs? ¿Qué tan importantes son los puntos de principio de temporada? Porque pareciera que son un punto que Daniel, cuando llegábamos a la parte importante para conseguir los playoffs, eran puntos que pudieron ser obtenido y faltaba para conseguir esa diferencia, Daniel.
Sí, exactamente, Luis. Realmente todos los puntos cuentan desde el principio. Tal vez muchos pilotos, muchos equipos empiezan a concentrar en los playoffs, faltando 10, 12 carreras, pero todo inicia desde Daytona. Entonces es una combinación. Y una de las cosas que más me ha sorprendido del Trackhouse Racing es creo que es demasiado simple. Si te pones a pensar, Trackhouse Racing no ha tenido ningún carro en la pista de carreras, y chécate todo y te pones a pensar todo el ruido que hemos podido hacer antes de estar en la pista de carreras, con Pitbull, con patrocinadores, con diferentes actividades, diferentes organizaciones. Es increíble lo que Justin Marks, Ty Norris y toda la gente de Trackhouse Racing han podido hacer en tan solo meses. Y eso habla del trabajo y dedicación que están haciendo para crecer y construir este equipo. Y me siento muy orgulloso de ser parte de este equipo. No estoy aquí en corto plazo, estoy aquí para crecer esto juntos y me siento muy contento de llamar esto casa por un buen tiempo.
Gracias, Daniel.
La siguiente pregunta es de Ivan Martínez. Adelante, Ivan.
¿Qué tal, Daniel? Buenas tardes. Saludos a México y saludos para ti. Daniel, se ha mencionado que una palabra que mencionaste ayer, gente, rodearte de gente. ¿Cuánta gente es la que integra este nuevo equipo que está haciendo mucho ruido, que tú lo estás mencionando? Y para finalizar, si le puedes mandar a todos los fans que van a poder asistir a los autódromos, ¿qué sería el mensaje de Daniel Suárez para toda esta gente que no va a poder asistir por falta de la pandemia. Si les puedes mandar un mensaje, por favor.
Claro que sí, Iván, un gusto saludarte como siempre. Fíjate que es una combinación de muchas cosas. Este año se pinta demasiado bien. Se ha trabajado muy, muy duro. Prácticamente la pretemporada no existió, siempre hubo trabajo, ya sea de gente, ya sea de patrocinadores, ya sea del equipo, con Chevrolet y demás. Y estoy muy contento en la posición en la que estamos. Va a tomar demasiado trabajo, obviamente, como todo, con todos los equipos, pero este Trackhouse Racing va a poder ser un equipo que va a poder ser competitivo prácticamente desde el inicio, y eso es algo que realmente me pone una sonrisa de lado a lado. Y en cuanto a México, pues bueno, tú me conoces. Extraño mucho a mucha gente de México, empezando con familia, equipos, medios, pistas, a los fans, obviamente, muchos fans que me vieron crecer en NASCAR México y me siguieron a las categorías regionales de Estados Unidos y fuimos creciendo juntos. De todo corazón les agradezco muchísimo todo su gran apoyo y les prometo que este año va a ser un año que no van a olvidar.
Muchas gracias, Daniel.
Gracias a ti, Iván.
Our next question will come from Anton Hareskiv. Go ahead with your question, Anton.
Thank you, Matt. Good afternoon, Daniel. Trackhouse Racing is going to be your fourth team in the Cup Series. So what do you expect from the cooperation with Justin Marks and Pitbull? And in what way this cooperation is going to be unlike any other you've had in NASCAR?
Yeah, you know, as a driver, the last thing you want is to be moving from team to team, from manufacturer to manufacturer. But sometimes it's just out of control of the driver or the team, or, you know, different situation is a different experience. But it's very difficult to be in that position, because if you think about it, every single team that is successful in NASCAR is not a new team. You know, it's a team that has been together for years, and it takes time to build that relationship, to build that understanding, to build that I know what he wants, I know what he needs. It takes time, especially when most of the racetrack that we go, we only go once a year. You know, by the time that you learn something, maybe the next time you're going to try is going to be next year. So, you know, it's a process. With that being said, you know, I have learned a lot as well as a driver. When I went to a Cup Series, yeah, I was ready to go to a Cup Series in 2017, but talent-wise, I was ready, because I'm very fortunate that I'm talented to drive race cars, but experience-wise, I was not. And I didn't have the right people around me telling me and advise me what to do and what not to do. You know, I don't have a racing family behind me that they can tell me what to do and what not to do. So I have had to learn all those things the hard way by myself. But with that being said, I'm very lucky that I still have a very, very good opportunity with an amazing team, with more experience, way more experience than a few years ago, and with a very, very good opportunity to start the season very competitive. I mean, the 99 Chevy in Daytona is going to have as good of a shot to win the race as any other team, and that's something that just, you know, put a huge smile on my face.
Thanks. Wishing you all the best this year.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Luis Torres. Go ahead with the question, Luis.
Thank you, Matt. One in English and one in Spanish. So the first one, now that you don't have to worry about qualifying for the duel since you guys have the charter, what would be the biggest advice you could give for guys like Noah Gragson and Austin Cindric who have to make it in this field, even Ryan Preece as well, who has experience at Daytona?
Man, it's very easy and it's very hard. Last year, I had a very slow car, a car that was 7-8 years old, and I was in position to make it just because I was doing a good race and I had already a very good engine. And I was in position to make it, and unfortunately, someone else's mistake took me out of the race and took me out of having a possibility to be in the Daytona 500. So it's very difficult. You have to be a little bit lucky. You have to be very smart, very, very smart. And you have to bring the speed at the right time. I remember last year, I didn't have the speed. I was super slow, but I was very aggressive on restarts. I was positioning myself, and I knew exactly what I had to do to be able to make it. I knew who I had to beat, and I had that under control. But you can only control what you can control, right? I cannot drive the other cars. So, that's the part that is very difficult. When some other drivers make mistakes, and then they ended up, costing you a race. Nobody wants to do that, though. Nobody does this on purpose, because everyone wants to keep their cars in one piece. But it happens, when you're running over 200 miles per hour, shit happens.
For sure.
Can you bring a water for me? Thank you.
Y la me has mencionado que estrategia es parte de la carrera. ¿Qué importante es para mantener estrategia para eso el agresivo, para que estás en buena posición para tener un buen resultado?
Sí, tener paciencia es muy importante, ser inteligente, ser una carrera muy inteligente es muy importante, pero al final del día tienes que controlar lo que puedes controlar y obviamente no puedes manejar todos los carros al mismo tiempo. Entonces, solamente se puede controlar lo que puedes hacer con tu carro y tratar de tener un poco de suerte para terminar en una buena posición.
Thank you, gracias.
Gracias.
Our next question will come from Chris Knight. Go ahead with the question, Chris.
Hey, Daniel, I know there's been a lot of talk about Justin Marks and Pitbull, and that's all great. But how about Travis Mack? He's been behind the scenes building this operation, getting you guys ready for the Daytona 500 for an opportunity for you to win the Great American. I was just wondering if you could talk about what you know about working with Travis, how much are you guys in communications, and how you guys feel like your outlook will be knowing that he has experience as a Cup crew chief.
Yeah, working with Travis has been a lot of fun. I like Travis. He has the same personality than me. He works very hard, and he takes care of a lot of details. He knows about everything that is going on, and I really like that. I feel like Travis and I we really have a future together, and I really like that. I really like, the way that he sees things, how cold he is, how relaxed he is about everything. He knows that we have a good big challenge ahead of us, and he's not afraid of it, and I like that. I think we're gonna do some good things together, and of course we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Chris.
Our final question is going to come from Alan Kavanik. Go ahead with the question, Alan.
Daniel, how are you?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
Good. You were front page news here in Charlotte yesterday. But about that, I mean, doing the work with animals and dogs, and you can see on your Instagram you travel a lot. How important is that for you, just as a person, to have a life outside of the racetrack, and does that help your professional life at all with the balance?
You hit it right on the point, Alan. I mean, you know me personally, and it's extremely good to help others, and to help animals, and to do good things for nature. I love that. I'm huge into animals. I grew up like that. Actually, it's funny that you asked me this question and about the newspaper yesterday. Just last night, I was talking with my father about a dog that is on adoption in Mexico. That my sister actually works a lot with different organizations to help animals to find a home and stuff like that. And there is a dog that has 3 legs. Well, 2 legs and 1 arm. This dog has been trying to find a home for over a month. My dad has right now over 10 dogs in the shop, in our shop. We're very fortunate to have a big piece of land, and we have a lot of dogs, and they're everywhere, and they have a house and everything. And talking to my father, we say, let's adopt this dog. I mean, if nobody wants it, let's bring this dog home with the other dogs and take care of it. And and make it happy. So, you know, these kind of things, you know, just to help animals, it just makes you feel so good. Me personally, it reminds me where I came from, and like you mentioned, that's super important. Makes my life more stable. Everything too much is bad. I love racing. That's my passion. But if I do everything racing, eventually it's gonna get overwhelming. So it's very important to have a balance. For me, family, animals, cars is my balance, and I love sharing that. I love helping it, and I hope I can continue to do it for a long time.
Thank you. Have fun this year.
Thank you.
Well, Danny, thank you for taking the time to join us, and good luck this season.
Thank you very much, amigo.
Take care. Our next drive will be at 2 o'clock. We'll be joined by Eric Almirola, followed by Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick, and at 4 o'clock we will have Richard Childress, Andy Petrie, and the whole gang. So hope you can stick around and join us for those media availability as well. They'll be right here on this link. So feel free to leave and come back. And we'll have audio and video from Danny's availability posted later today on NASCARmedia.com.